A Winnipeg photographer is being recognized for his body of work. Bruce Hendricks is the first Canadian in history to be awarded 2 prestigious national awards in the same year. Hendricks was awarded the Yusuf Karsh Lifetime Achievement Award for photographic excellence, and he also received the honor of the Fellowship of the Professional Photographers of Canada. Bruce Hendricks joins me now. Good afternoon, Bruce, and congratulations.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much.
How does it feel to be awarded these 2 honors in the same year?
That is actually kind of still sinking in. There's only 3 other people who have actually achieved both of them in history. And I'm the only one who did it the same year, so it's pretty humbling.
When did you learn that you had received both these honors?
I knew officially before they were presented, so I actually learned a couple months ago. But they were supposed to be presented at a national conference in Saskatoon at the end of April. Unfortunately, with COVID, the presentation was not the way it normally would be, and we had to do that by the internet. Mm-hmm. So that was done at the end of April, April 25th, April 26th. I can't remember the exact date. So it unfortunately, the next time we're able to get together legally and health-wise as a conference, they'll be presented, and I'll do a speech properly. Mm-hmm. At that point.
Now, you are the first Canadian to do this in the same year. What do you think it was about your work, or why do you think you won both awards this year?
Well, the fellowship is something that you strive for and achieve for. There's only been 8 people who have actually gotten it in history. There's 6 of us who are alive. It's daunting. It's a daunting task to achieve. You have to be a master photographer. You have to have been a member of the professional photographers for 10 years. You have to have 2 bars to your master's, meaning higher than just the level of master photographer. And then you need a 7,000-word thesis on either the educational, art, or business of photography to go along with it, and then you submit it to a panel of experts, and they judge your work and judge your thesis just as they would any university degree. Mm-hmm. It was something, I hate to say this, I've been in this industry for 33 years, and I'm 49 now, turning 50, and I've had this goal since my early 20s or around 20 years old for my fellowship. And I figured now's the time that I have to go for it, especially knowing that I was leading the country for the Yusuf Karsh Award. It wasn't guaranteed, but I figured now's the time to try to go for both. And it took me about 7 months or so to write the thesis. Well, I'm not every day, of course, but coming back to it once or twice a week, reworking it, and changing things, of course, things along those lines.
What made you want to become a photographer in the first place?
See, it was interesting. I decided that was a decent student. I didn't necessarily feel like I wanted to go on to university and get a desk job somewhere. So I went into a visual communications course in high school, which the first couple of months you spend 2 weeks in both photography, commercial art, graphic art, and drafting. And it came down to I had interest in both photography and drafting, but drafting I'd be sitting at a desk all day, whereas photography every day would be different. I'd be meeting different people, different assignments, always doing something different and creative. And that's what hooked me.
Is there you have so many photos, and I've seen them online. They're absolutely amazing. There's a different variety of photos that you have, but is there one memory or one photo that you really cherish, that really stands out to you, or maybe embodies your body of work?
I wouldn't say it embodies my body of work, but I'd probably say one particular photograph that always resonates with me because it was a funny story on how I took it, or how I created it, as well as won me tons of awards over the years. It's actually entitled Susie Q, and it's actually have a little girl. She's about 3 years old. I was living in BC at the time. I was part of a studio there, and two of us were actually working on this portrait of her. And we were in a park, and we did a whole bunch of photographs in one area. And okay, we're done here. We're gonna move over to another area. And this little girl ran to this play structure. You have to. There's been one or two around Winnipeg, but it's a steel play structure that looks like a Q if you look at it from up top. It spirals around. And she went to play there, and her mother called her back. And I looked up to see where she was, and I screamed out for her to stop and stay exactly where she was, because I recognized what the photograph would be like from the angle that I needed to take it from. So I quickly went over there, took 2 quick photographs. Then we went on to the next location that we were planning on doing. That helped me win Photographer of the Year in Manitoba that year. I was both still a member of the Manitoba Association as well as the BC Association. I was a finalist or runner-up for Photographer of the Year in BC that year. It's gotten me a lot of recognition nationally and provincially across the country.
Well, I want to say, Bruce, congratulations again on your awards, and thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your story.
Thank you very much.